There's something massive is being announced on Friday.
There was every intention to do a tour.
They routed a tour.
No one wants a public split.
The man's an absolute muppet.
Does all of this in like leggings, a band t-shirt and a bun.
It's fallen really, really flat.
I think it is a Showbiz Fix exclusive. Release the tapes.
Can't wait. Welcome to Showbiz Fix. This is your destination for the inside scoop on all our celebrity exclusives. This week has been all about bust-ups, from Love Island dumpings to footballers, wags and housewives. Plus, it looks like Oasis may be back for good, while reunion plans for another beloved Brit group has gone up in flames. It's a big week. There's bust-ups, there's flames all over the place with the heatwave. But the real fight here, I think, is between Love Island producers and the fans.
That fandom is insane and they want blood.
They honestly, I feel like they're like the fifth producer on this show because they're really, really mad because two of their favourites have been dumped from the villa. So this was Charlene and Mara. Everyone said they should have been OGs all along, and now they've been dumped from the island. And also there's only been one public vote this series, which everyone's completely furious about.
That's insane for a series of Love Island, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely insane. It's almost like we can't be trusted.
The fans know what they want though, because I feel like they're the best producers in a way, no offence, ITV Love Island producers, because they watch it for a reason. They know the drama, they know what they want to see. They should give the fans more control.
I think so too. So the situation with Charlene and Mara is now they're all convinced that they're going to be heading back in. So I did an update last night where I was like, guys, I just don't think they're going back in. And here is my evidence why. So first of all, everyone thinks that they're leaving and then coming back because when they were dumped from the villa, it said dumped from the villa, not dumped from the island. So everyone thought this was a big clue. But what I'm hearing from sources at the villa is they had the exact same normal dumping process as everybody else. So, you know, they had the welfare, the duty of care, the family, the flights. That whole schedule was entirely as is normal. I just don't think they're going back in.
So why did they say villa though instead of island?
I think they've left themselves a loophole.
What in case? Because I think if you were going to bring them back in, it's when they drive them off and then they do a U-turn and park somewhere else.
Yeah, or
they
pop
make
them
it
in.
Very obvious.
Yeah,
too much time has passed now.
Are there any other opportunities this series to put them back in?
Exactly. I think they've left themselves a loophole, but I just can't see it happening because there's no reason in terms of the storyline why it would add to the show to reintroduce them. They've not got any simmering connections left in the villa, which is when people have returned before. There's just no reason. More drama will come from new bombshells. And tonight, there's going to be 2 new bombshells.
Ooh.
But what I want to talk to you about, Faye, because you are, so Faye, as we know, looks after Sun Club, which is all our insider, big scoops, our real deep dive into celebrity situations. And you've been looking at the situation with Shakira, haven't you?
Yeah, so obviously last year Shakira was amazing on the show. Everyone loved her. She's part of the Big Three. We had her on the cover of Fabulous. It was a huge deal. And then she landed the job doing the debrief with Tony.
And Yasmin.
As Yasmin, yeah. And everyone was really, really excited about it. It was going to be amazing, but it's fallen really, really flat. And people are they're not happy with it. They think that Shakira's got issues with a few of the females in the villa at the moment, even though, you know, I'm sure she doesn't, but she comes across sometimes like she is favouring the men over the women. For example, with Jasmine, it's quite clear she's not a fan of her and people are asking why, if she's jealous or if there's something deeper behind it.
That's so interesting because like on her series, Ellie, she was like she was held up as a girl's girl. She was like the girl's girl. So this is wild.
Yeah, apparently I heard that on a live stream, Harry, who is Shakira's long-term boyfriend, said that if he would pick anyone in the villa, it would be Jasmine. So I think, people are saying, oh, she's just jealous because he said this. But I mean, I don't know, but watching her on the show, it is quite clear that she is not her biggest fan, which is a shame because if you're looking at it, Jasmine probably would be the next Shakira in terms of like her career after the show. She's probably the one who's probably, you know, she's likely to be the most successful afterwards and following her footsteps.
What have you heard in terms of how this will impact Shakira's career though?
Well, you know, it's not career defining by any means. Like this is her first TV job, you know, it takes a lot of time to become like one of the big presenters, but you know, it has obviously raised questions. They're going to be asking if every single viewer is saying we're not enjoying this combination. You know, they're going to have to do something about it.
Oh, they're not getting that job back then.
I think it's...
Or there'll be a shake-up and they'll shift it.
Do you know what? I did see that she'd popped on an Instagram that she said, I know that you aren't going to agree with all our opinions on the debrief, because it is a panel show, isn't it? But she said sometimes they all have to take a position to make sure there's a balance. They can't all just go, yeah, I agree, because then it's not a discussion, isn't it?
Yeah,
so maybe she just keeps being lumped with the opinions that rub people up the wrong way.
Wouldn't she say, actually, no, I don't agree? If she doesn't agree with it, surely she has the ability to say, no, I don't want to be saying this about Jasmine. I actually think she's a great person.
But also, in her defence, if she doesn't like Jasmine, she doesn't like Jasmine.
Yeah, she doesn't have to like everyone.
And you don't have to. And I think there's so much thing with women on screen, whereas if you have an opinion and you don't, they're like, oh, you're a and it's like, no, I'm just being honest. Like, I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
Is that like when every week
over it.
you have a go at Taylor Swift?
Yeah, exactly. She's not my cup of tea.
You can be a girl's girl, but not like every girl.
Yeah, you don't have to.
You don't have to.
I hate when we all have to be sycophantic about people. It makes my blood boil on my toes.
Yeah. It's tough though. Like you say, it's her first job on telly.
Yeah.
And that's a big job because it's having to share her opinion. And we all get a bit scared about sharing our opinions in this day and age, don't we?
Well, there's always a troll ready to batter you with a stick.
I would say, though, she has done like a few other things that have wound people up. I don't know if you remember, like when she came out of the villa, she did a podcast about brand deals. And she was very much like, I'm not going to be like all the other Love Islanders doing these cheap, rubbish brand deals. And I think that people were a bit
nasty.
Yeah, a bit put off by that.
Do you know, on that same podcast, she did say something which made me laugh because obviously she did Fabulous and it was an amazing shoot. They were done up as like the Kardashian, the three of them. And she said, you know, when we came out, we got all the usual offers like Fabulous, but then we did ID and that was the real game changer.
ID!
Do you know what? There are so many celebrities that we know would love to be on the cover of Fabulous.
Yeah, who regularly asked to be on the cover of Fabulous.
It would be like such a huge moment in their career. Like we know from Kerry Katona, for example, being back on the cover of Fabulous after, you know, so many years was a huge emotional moment for her. So I just thought it was so disparaging to you know, anyone that wants to achieve that in their career and you're going, oh no, I don't want to do that. So that was my own personal beef with Shakira.
Good luck getting another magazine deal, Shakira. Yeah. She'll be scraping the back of Hello by next week.
Do you know what though? What I would say is it's a hard job. And I think there was always going to be one of them that cops it. You know, Tony got some comments earlier on with her comments about George when she said he was a jump scare. So I just think every week there's going to be one of them that gets a bit of a bashing and I hope they're okay. So tonight on the episode, as I say, it's all kicking off as usual, but we should also get the results of last night's public vote. So finally, they open it up to the public and it's for favourite couple. And I think we're going to see the end of Lola because she has just taken it upon herself to be the series.
I mean, at least she's making it spicy.
No. Well, watch this space. Everyone let us know what you think of Lola and then we'll see where we're up to. Right, now I want to move on to Oasis because these are people who overcame their bust up in spectacular fashion in a way that no one ever thought was possible. And you've got new news.
Yes. So we are looking at a 6-date residency at Knebworth in September 2027. So it'll be 2 performances a week for 3 weeks and then 12 nights at the Etihad in Manchester. These are just the start of the dates that are going to come out. It's going to be massive. We've got sources all over the shop on this, but I spoke to people that it was never going to be a one run tour. It was always going to be a 2-run tour. We always knew that. And then it just started fanning I think a lot of gossip. There's something massive is being announced on Friday, apparently.
Tomorrow.
And I was told then it was Oasis. So I went away and I was like, no, it's not tomorrow. That date is going to be in August. It's going to coincide with Oasis Live 25 announcement. But apparently there's something else massive happening. But I don't care. I just want to talk about Oasis because I'm so excited about it.
I have questions about this. Is there going to be new music?
No.
Are they going to do Glastonbury?
I don't know.
I said this yesterday, didn't I? If you look at where their dates are planned, there is a little gap, isn't there?
There is going to be a gap. So we were initially being led towards Madonna doing Glastonbury, and then we were told. Well, then she did Graham Norton and was like, "Oh, there's this massive show coming up." We've since been told that's not Madonna anymore. She's not doing it. It's not going to be Glasto. which means Oasis would be incredible. I mean, we go to Glastonbury every year. It's rotten and smells and it's bloody horrible, but the music is incredible. And the idea of watching them on the pyramid stage would just be out of this world.
Is there not room? Sorry,
I was going to say, what's the situation then with them? Are they getting on, the brothers?
They do genuinely get on.
Are they hanging out?
They don't live in each other's pockets, but like obviously you've seen them at the football. That's the kind of thing they'll get together on. So they'll be seen together. They're not going around each other's house for tea every Sunday, but the bond and the closeness between them, it was just like a spark reunited. Like I'll never forget Cardiff first night when they walk out and their arms around each other. I was so shocked because we were all expecting them to walk on the way they used to walk on. So to see that was massive, and actually to watch that growing and growing. You've also seen Noel's always been the one who's maybe a bit more pithy about Liam. Affection for him has grown. You know, he's always on TalkSport and he will regularly reference his brother and the things they're doing together. And Liam's just still a complete wind-up merchant. It's brilliant.
Did you go watch it, Faye?
Did I watch what? Sorry.
Oasis.
No, I didn't. I feel like I'm the only person
If you can get
in the
tickets
whole world who
this
didn't.
time around, it's gonna be incredible.
Controversially, I think there needs to be a rule that if you went and watched them last time, you don't get first access. Everyone that didn't get tickets last time should get priority.
I'm not a huge Oasis fan. I'm just gonna.
Are you not?
I mean, I like them.
It's like our childhood, I think. Like when we were little kids.
I like them, but I'm not a huge fan.
Well, do you know who I went to see when they did their reunion tour, but it looks like we're not going to get one, is the Spice Girls. Why can't they overcome their differences?
There's always an issue with one of them. This time, the big issue is between sort of Mel and Geri. And there was this great scandal on the 30th.
Mel?
Oh, Mel B, sorry. Mel B's. The big scandal is between Mel B and Geri. So we know back in 2022, Mel made a joke basically about Geri faking her age. And then it was always a bit frosty between them. Then obviously at Victoria Beckham's 50th, they were together. But I was told again, tad frosty. Geri was just like, I don't really want to hang around with you. So when they did the 30th anniversary celebrations for Wannabe, which was such a damp squib, like what a disappointment. We got some rubbish Instagram posts. Geri posted like, all my Spice sisters, I love you. Tried to tag Mel B and couldn't tag. So Mel B's obviously blocked her.
Oh my goodness. It's such a shame. Mel B was always the one who was like pushing for it, wasn't it?
I think she's wanted it for so long and is so frustrated because Victoria, I think, would be open to it. But now Geri, she's happy. She's riding her horses in the countryside. She lives a lovely fairy tale life.
Mingling with the royals.
Yeah, she doesn't want to do it. And I think there's the frustration for Mel C and Mel B, who would love to do it. Because, I mean, last year, you have Mel C constantly saying, we're going, you know, a tour's going to happen, a tour's going to happen. We know that promoters routed that tour, which means they basically plan out a tour, go to countries, sell it, and then come back with a level of demand.
Oh,
and
I didn't know that. So there was every intention to do a tour.
Yeah, they routed a tour. So the promoters did, then they go to and they pitch it and say, look, this is, if they did this is what they could earn, this is what could happen. And it never got off the ground.
Oh.
It's really sad because I, like you, I saw them in Coventry. It was amazing.
What we need Noel and Liam to get them in a room and be like, we found a way, girls, and this is how we did it, and this is how you can do it.
Basically,
they should film it for a reality show.
Yes.
That would be really good.
I think money talks here, if we're being honest about it. I think Noel and Liam did it for the fans for one last time, but also the idea of pocketing £100 million from that run run of shows.
Yeah.
Geri Horner doesn't need, I mean, they're never going to make that much money, but they've made millions. She doesn't need it. They're absolutely loaded.
No.
And I think whereas some of the others would be very grateful for some cash.
Yeah.
I think they could all, apart from Geri, they could all do with that money.
Yeah.
Even
And-
Victoria, really.
Oh, yeah, a little injection.
Yeah.
Keep her business going for even longer.
Exactly.
Not that she needs it. Sorry, Posh.
No, quite. Speaking of blocking on Instagram, though, I always think that when these sort of breakups and bust-ups happen, why do people play it out on Instagram? So, like, Faye, this week, the amazing story that you wrote all about Andy Carroll and Lou Teasdale, the first thing they do when they break up is delete pictures of each other on Instagram.
Well, look at Maya and Ruben.
Yeah.
And but it's keeping an eye inside the carousel. The pictures disappearing,
Yeah.
but it's mad.
Yeah.
So Andy and Lou have broken up for the third time
Thank
this
God.
week after this mad showdown in Ibiza over his drinking, basically. Faye, what's the latest on this?
Well, they're still off, so that's something, because, you know, they're very on and off.
Yeah.
Normally it'd be like a few days and they'll be back together. But this time it is starting to look like it could be for good. I've heard that her friends are really hoping that this is the final time. And they're all, you know, they all feel sorry for her. They've seen what she's been put through. It's no one wants a public split, you know, and it's embarrassing when you're both, you know, trying to be sober together and one of you decides not to do that in like quite a public, not going off the road, but, you know, has a drink or two in a public way and everyone else sees it. She's been quite humiliated by it all.
Yeah. She just needs to make sure this is it. Because I said, if I was one of her friends, I'd be like, what are you doing? The man's an absolute muppet. I mean, everyone will remember the run up to his wedding with Billy Mucklow when, you know, and he got so drunk and off his tree in Dubai that he ended up in bed with 2 blonde women. Now, obviously nothing happened, but to put yourself in that position, how humiliating for your wife. Like, the only reason, I mean, there's a reason Billy Mucklow went ahead with that wedding, and I won't say it for her confidence, but she did that wedding and then they split. And you think, no wonder why.
And he hasn't learned his lessons. He humiliated her and now he's humiliating Lou.
Yeah.
I just think Lou's a nice woman. She's got a lot going for her.
Yeah.
Why keep going back to this oily-haired weasel?
Well,
like,
we've all been
why?
there, Ellie, where we go back to the wrong end.
Very true, but let's hope this time's the last time, because that was starting to feel like Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just get rid of him. There are so many nice men out there you could have an amazing time with. You know, he plays for Dagenham and Redbridge. He's hardly a catch.
I think this will be the last time.
Thank goodness.
Okay, we'll come back on when they get back together.
Yeah.
Oh, don't invite me on.
No, look, do you know, I just like, my heart goes out to Lou on this because, like I say, we've all been there where we've tried to believe in a wrong un and, you know, wanted the best. And like you say, it's embarrassing, isn't it? But there we go. Now I want to talk about the Real Housewives of Cheshire again.
Oh my gosh, it's a gift that keeps on giving.
Isn't it? Right, so this week you spoke with
lovely Royston and Nick. Yeah, who are just so sweet, bless them. They're getting so much heat on social media. They're saying we've been painted to be these really pantomime queens. That's not us.
Yeah. So this is just to recap, basically this big row between them and Rachel Lugo over a physical altercation or not physical altercation, recollections may differ, which is all bubbling under the seeds until now.
Until now. So now what we're waiting for. So obviously both sides have had their say. Rachel Lugo spoke through friends. It's an ongoing police investigation. She's made it pretty clear she doesn't want to say anything for now. But what I think we're going to find over the next couple of days, maybe a week, is that police investigation, I think, into Rachel Lugo will close. It'll be NFA'd, no further action taken. And then I think what we'll find then is that ITV are free then, because this was all filmed. The footage, release the tapes. Because for ITV, this has been a coup. Obviously, poor Royston and Nick, it was terrible. It's really affected them. But for ITV, and I think any sort of production company or a television channel making telly, this is good telly and people are talking about it. All people want to see now is the push so they can make their minds up as to whether it was forceful and nasty or as actually if it was an overreaction. And I think that's what people want to see.
So is this a Showbiz Fix exclusive?
I think it is a Showbiz Fix exclusive.
I love it.
Release the tapes. I speak to ITV regularly on this, and the lovely Justin.
Yeah,
He's a big fan of Showbiz Fix.
I keep trying to get Justin to come on Showbiz Fix.
He would be amazing.
I know.
But poor Justin, so I go to him and I'm like, I'm so sorry to bother you. We're doing this again. But yeah, I think it's good for ITV. People are going to be tuning into that show because they're going to be desperate to see.
When would the new series be?
It's coming up later this year.
Yeah, I was hearing September.
Yeah, so I spoke to one of the cast yesterday who said, like, I've been painted out to be a villain in this. Who knew? I mean, it's Gareth.
I was going to say,
like, who else could it be? Because I was like, well, the poor man, it's all about this alleged hair extension. So Gareth says, I don't have hair extensions. Then he said, I've got a weft. Apparently a weft is an extension of your hair. It's just semantics. But he, I think, is taking it. He's taking it in such good spirit, which is he's going to be a bit of a villain, but also he's got a really thick skin. He can take it, and also I think he understands it's reality television.
Yeah.
Of course, there are going to be things. It's not scripted, but the things are going to be moved in a certain way.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, they all seem really nice, to be honest. I think they're just. This is all just wild.
What I didn't realise, though, is that apparently Real Housewives of Cheshire is the third most watched ITV show.
It is.
It's extraordinary.
Yeah.
I actually don't personally know anyone who watches it, but I think after this,
people
it's going to
will.
be the top show. on
I always
ITV.
say, you know, people are so sneery about reality TV and dating shows, but people love it because it's like an escape from your life, be it the drama or just like chewing gum telly that you stick on. And you know me, I love reality telly. So
I'm the same. I watched At Home with the Vardys. Sorry for the late watching. I binged it, 3 episodes. I absolutely loved it.
No.
And I texted their publicist, did you hate it?
just thought it was
You thought it was
dull.
boring,
No, but,
didn't you?
but I like that because it's television you can watch when you're doing something
yeah.
else. Like, plus I love Jamie and Becky, so but I enjoyed that.
Right.
I love all reality TV as well.
Well, away from you sitting at home watching the Vardys, let's move past this as quickly as possible. Last night you were at something far more exciting.
Which is why I'm so tired and hungover. I was at the Stones VIP album launch.
The Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones, Foreign Tongues, out tomorrow. It is an incredible album. When I left, they gave me the most amazing vinyl as well. So I sort of woke up really bleary-eyed and I was like,
Did you get a full goodie bag?
it's an incredible record. No, just got that.
Okay.
And a stomach load of champagne and cocktails.
What was the food like?
Oh my God, it was amazing. Miniature canapes, as you'd imagine, or canaps as I call them. And then no one had realised they had the rooftop of this amazing hotel overlooking the South Bank. Someone was sort of milling around and I was speaking to Mick for a while, which was absolutely amazing.
Mick Jagger.
Mick Jagger.
Oh my God.
Man, his voice is incredible because they performed as well. Like, his voice is out of this world still.
Yeah.
But so charming and so kind and so interesting to speak to. And he mingled that party like a pro.
Did you ask for a selfie?
No.
I would be too scared to ask him for a selfie.
I feel like it's one of those situations where I was steered over. His publicist, Bernard, who's an absolute legend, was like, come here. And like ripped the drink out of my hand, gave it to a photographer and then turned me round because I hadn't realised. And then I was like, oh, hello. And then he introduced him. Hello, thank you very much. Nice to meet you. But amazing. And like all their
Oh my
families were
God.
there. It just felt really intimate. It was really nice. It
Who
was.
else was there? Like, were there loads of celebs or was it?
Vernon Kay was there. Loves it. Because obviously he did Tracks of Our Years with Ronnie and Mick, which was absolutely amazing. Then Claudia Winkleman snuck in at the end. I'm sure I saw her out the corner of my eye. But like Kate Moss was meant to be there, Sam Fender, Rita Ora. Ben Stiller, I was told, was on this list.
Wow.
But that party was busy, but I was pottering and I did not see.
Well, he is in town for filming of, I think it's Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah.
So, I mean, God, if you were in town and you heard that was going on and you were someone like Ben Stiller, you'd be like, get me in.
Well,
I love the way you're so casual about just chatting to, like just being there chatting to
It's
him.
mad, isn't
Yeah.
it?
because they flew me out to watch their first night in Houston on the first
Casual.
night of the tour on Hackney Diamonds. I was backstage and it was just the most amazing experience, just like going backstage. And before they go on, I interviewed Ronnie. And Ronnie paints their set list like 'cause he's an amazing artist. I know you just think I'm just bowling around backstage with Rolling Stones.
My
You
favourite...
feel very privileged.
Yeah.
I just love how Ellie does all of this in like leggings, a band t-shirt and a bun.
I know.
I hope you weren't wearing Linkin Park t-shirt
No,
last
so
night.
yesterday I put on my so Rolling Stones sent me some lovely t-shirts from an amazing Carnaby Street collection. So
Casual.
I was wearing a really cool Rolling Stones t-shirt and jeans in 35-degree heat. Anywho, so they sent me a thing, informal chic is the invite. So I text Bernard and I was like, bloody hell, Bernard, informal chic. I'm in a Rolling Stones t-shirt and jeans. And he texted me and put, no, too much fan. You'll have to get changed. I had to go to the fashion cupboard and get Sinead to get me a white t-shirt. I walked in and there were people with Rolling Stones stuff on everywhere. And I saw Keith Richards' manager, lovely woman, was chatting with her. And I told her what Bernard had done to me and made me get changed. And then she went, she's a lovely New Yorker. And she said, well, there's a woman over there with stones on her arse. And I was like, yeah. So I had the most stressful outfit change and I had this lovely t-shirt, but it was so thick. And back to the buffet. They had a Rolling Stones tiramisu, which was absolutely amazing.
What's a Rolling Stones tiramisu?
Just a massive tiramisu with a massive tongue on it.
Oh.
Actually, I'm sorry, from the buffet, and I will share the footage so everyone can see it at home. They did the most incredible light display over the Thames. So they had these drones that came up with all the music blaring. So if you were on the other side of the South Bank, you would have got the biggest treat last night because it was just completely lit up. You know when you see it on telly for like New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
Seeing it standing at the front because I knew it was coming, so I had like a good position with my tiramisu and my champagne. And it's just the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And like Mick and Ronnie had their own little private sort of viewing area to the right, just behind a little rope. That makes all
Were
the
there any
difference.
normal people there? Was it just celebs?
It was mainly just like, I always think those kind of parties are always just like really thin, beautiful people. So wherever I turned, they were just like gazelle-like women. Everyone's super friendly and lovely, but it's just like There's a lot of money and a lot of like.
What about influencers? Did they make it in there?
Nah.
Okay, good.
There's an influencer-free zone, which is thoroughly enjoyable.
Yeah.
I was probably the biggest influencer there with my 38,000 followers.
I am not going to get past too much fan, Ellie. Too much fan.
Honestly, I've got the text. I will show the text, and then after I sent him a picture, and I said, "Will I do?" And he didn't even reply.
Every single time Ellie arrives in a band t-shirt, now I'm going to go, too much fan.
Too much fan. Bernard, to be fair to him, said that when he'd sent me that message, he was standing outside the hotel where there were loads of Rolling Stones fans, and that he just suddenly panicked that I'd be penned with them, and I was like, my name's on the door, like they'd let me in.
To be fair, it's like showing up to a football match in full kit.
Yeah.
But I like
That's
being a
sort
full
of-
kit banker. That's my vibe. But like, the only reason I didn't wear my Oasis t-shirt today was because I've already worn it twice this week. I do wash it every single time. The good weather allows me to do a very quick line dry.
There we go.
I thought I
Relatable
can't
queen.
wear it again, so I thought I'd wear Linkin Park today, just for
There you
a
go.
treat.
Okay, well, now we're going to do bin or binge.
Oh yeah.
Ellie's going to go first to show you how it's done, Faye. Seeing as
Okay.
it's your debut.
Okay.
Binning.
Taylor Swift's wedding.
Oh.
I know, and I feel like you and me are going to be the same on
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
There is a man who went around collecting rubbish from the streets outside the MSG, shoved it in some gift boxes with Taylor and Travis on, and people actually bought it. This is the depths of depravity and insanity. Bin it. I'm so bored of it. It's over.
Okay, binging.
Rolling Stones album all day long. Honestly, if you haven't listened to it, it knocks Hackney Diamonds out of the water. It's just an incredible album, start to finish.
Brilliant. Faye, dare I ask, what are you binning?
I know you're a Taylor Swift fan, but it was going to be Taylor Swift's wedding as well. I just can't face any more updates. I just don't care. I think the whole thing was so self-obsessed. Like, the display of wealth was disgusting. And I just feel like she's gearing up to release it on video, sound like an old person. Release clips of it, release pictures.
Yeah.
I just can't be bothered.
Do you know what I would just counter, right? Yes, I am a fan of Taylor Swift's music. I agree that she didn't need to spend that much money, but a couple of things I'll say is the security had to be off the scale, like it had to be. And so she probably couldn't just do it in somewhere, small. Doing it in a stadium
She's got a
makes
huge
sense.
mansion at home. She'd have had a small, intimate, romantic wedding.
Oh, in
but when
Rhode
you-
Island, and it would have been beautiful.
But then the other thing that I would say is that I was working on Sunday and was expecting it to be like a big Taylor Swift wipeout. In fact, people were more interested in Caleb Cooper from Clarkson's Farms wedding.
Authentic and beautiful.
And in The Sun, we gave that a double page spread with a little mention of Taylor. And I think that that's because we know our audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
So there we
about
go.
right.
Okay, and you're binging.
I'm binging the Wags. I know it's not, the same as the Baden Wags from, the Victorias and stuff, but I'm really enjoying seeing what they're all wearing in the stands. Like Kate Kane, I've loved the way she's kind of come into her own this tournament and been like really expressing herself with fashion. Megan Pickford, she's just been looking amazing. Ellie Watkins, it's been great. And they've been sharing loads on social media and it's been really fun to watch.
Oh, we love a nice positive one, guys. Okay, so my bin is the trolls on Tattle Life, because there's a fine line between gossip and when things turn toxic. But I watched GK Barry's documentary on this, which she's done for the BBC, which is brilliant. She hits just the right tone, and I think she should do a lot more of this kind of thing. But basically, she looks at all these cases where it's turned truly toxic. So an influencer who was 16 who ended up killing herself because of things that people were saying on there.
Oh my God.
And I think the point that I mean is that there's trolling and then there's I know she's reading this and I hope and it just becomes depraved.
I sort of go on like the influencer ones and I just scan through because I laugh at them because some of the people are mad, but I've never read anything
No,
else.
and they need to, and the founder of this and the company behind it take no accountability. They're just making the money from the ads and they're doing nothing to clamp this down, and that's what I'm binning. But I'm binging another TV show, which is The Full Skydive Murder Plot. So this was on Channel 4 a couple of years ago and is now on Netflix. I won't tell you what happens apart from the fact that this woman survives a 4,000 feet skydive when both her parachutes failed because someone close to her in her life tampered with the parachutes to try and kill her.
Is this a
And I'll
real
leave it
story?
there.
Yeah, I
It's a
remember
real
reading the news.
story.
I remember the news stories at the time, and
Yeah.
it was wild.
So I won't spoil it if you've not watched it, but go and watch it on Netflix because it's incredible. That's your Showbiz Fix for this week. Remember to subscribe to us here on the Sun Showbiz YouTube channel for all the inside TV and celebrity gossip. See you next week.